They didn't just lie to you, they engineered your failure. From the day you were born, you were fed a script. Play it safe, sit down, shut up, follow the rules, and maybe you'll get a sliver of success before you die. But let's call it what it is. A system designed to make you small, obedient, and broke. Your thoughts aren't even yours. Your habits installed to keep you numb. Your self-worth hijacked. And while you play nice and struggle in silence, someone else cashes in on your submission. This is psychological warfare on your potential. Ask yourself right now, how many of your beliefs are keeping you in chains? Because if you don't rip them out at the root, you're not living. You're being controlled. Every second you stay asleep, you lose. Every excuse you justify, they win. But the moment you wake up, the second you say enough, you flip the game. Because the greatest prison is the one you don't know you're in. And what I'm about to tell you, it's the key. Don't blink, then scroll, because this is the truth they never wanted you to hear. Let me ask you something. How many days of your life have you traded for nothing? Be honest. How many mornings have you woken up, grabbed your phone, scrolled for hours, lied to yourself about rest, while your dreams sat outside starving? You say you want more, but you keep feeding your comfort while your potential is dying of hunger. That should piss you off, because I'm not here to motivate you. I'm here to rip the blindfold off your eyes. I'm here to confront you with the truth. You're running out of time. You are. Every second you waste indulging in comfort is a second you'll never get back. And no one's come to save you. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when life slows down. You think you have time. That's the biggest lie you've been sold. Comfort is the most seductive, most poisonous drug on earth. And you've been ODing on it every damn day. That hit of ease, it feels good, right? No pressure, no challenge, no pain. But every time you choose it, you are choosing weakness. You are programming yourself to be average, to stay broke, to stay stuck, to live a life of quiet misery that never touches greatness. Is that what you want? To look back one day and realize you coasted through your one shot on earth playing it safe? I want you to imagine something right now. Picture your future self, 10 years older, tired, regretful, pissed off. You walk into a room and see everything you could have been, stronger, smarter, wealthier, confident, respected, feared. And all that version does is look you in the eye and say, why didn't you fight for me? Let that sink in. Because here's the truth most people run from. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Comfort is where dreams go to die. You want to be elite? Then you better get addicted to the pain that comes with progress. You better start chasing discomfort like your life depends on it, because it does. Champions aren't made when it's easy. They're forged in discomfort, sharpened in discipline, and crowned through consistency when no one's watching. You think successful people are lucky? You think they're smarter than you? No! They're just more relentless. While you hit snooze, they hit reps. While you complain, they create. While you hesitate, they execute. The only thing separating you from everything you want is your willingness to suffer on purpose for what matters. You need to understand this. Discomfort is not the enemy, it's the doorway. Every breakthrough you've been begging for lives on the other side of a moment that hurts. It's in the cold shower. It's in the early wake up. It's in saying no to the distractions. It's in showing up when every cell in your body wants to quit. That's where strength is born. Not in comfort, but in confrontation. And don't wait to feel ready. That moment's not coming. The fire doesn't show up. You have to light it. You want change? Then move. Right now. Do something uncomfortable immediately. Sign up for that course. Cut off that toxic habit. Go to the gym. Launch the business. Have the hard conversation. Whatever it is, take the pain and run into it. Because if you don't, nothing changes. Not tomorrow, not in a year, not ever. The only way out of this trap is through it. Through the resistance, through the pain, through the grind. You either suffer the pain of discipline now, or you suffer the agony of regret for the rest of your life. So what's it gonna be? Comfort or greatness? Excuses or execution? Average or undeniable? The choice is yours. But understand this. If you don't sacrifice for your dream becomes the sacrifice. Let me hit you with a truth that most people will live their entire lives trying to avoid. You are being programmed right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Every scroll, every ad, every headline, every piece of content you consume is rewiring your mind, shaping your emotions, and forging your future. The question is, who's doing the programming? You or the machine? Because if you're not programming your mind with power, with purpose, with unstoppable direction, then the world is programming it for you with fear, with doubt, with weakness. And make no mistake, this isn't random. It's by design. They want you addicted, distracted, consuming instead of creating, reacting instead of rising. Because a man who is weak in the mind is easy to control. He doesn't question. He doesn't fight. He doesn't lead. He obeys. And that's the trap. They don't need chains to keep you stuck. They use comfort. They use noise. They flood your mind with just enough dopamine, just enough entertainment, just enough mindless scrolling to make you forget that you were born for more. You've been hypnotized to believe that survival is success, that just getting by is normal, that your dreams are delusional. Wake up, because the most dangerous prison is the one you don't even realize you're in. And most people, 99%, they're locked inside their own minds. Programmed to fear failure, programmed to play small, programmed to believe that someone else has to give them permission to live fully. You know what that leads to? A life that's quiet, comfortable, and completely beneath your potential. I'm not here to sugarcoat this. I'm here to shatter it. You've been brainwashed. You've been taught to chase likes instead of legacy. You've been trained to fear judgment more than mediocrity. You've been led to believe that success is reserved for the lucky or the chosen. Bullshit. You don't need permission. You need ownership. Total, ruthless ownership. You want to break the cycle? Then you've got to become a warrior of your own mind. That means you stop feeding it junk. Stop waking up and handing your power to a phone. Stop filling your brain with weakness. Every single day, you're either conditioning your mind to dominate or conditioning it to submit. There is no neutral. There is no middle. You're either building or you're being broken. You want to take control? Then take control of what you consume. Cut out the poison. Feed your mind what builds you. Books, challenges, people who call you out, environments that force you to level up. You've got to make your mind a weapon. Sharp, focused, unshakable. Because in a world that profits off your distraction, your greatest rebellion is your focus. Rewire your routines. Wake up with intention, set your standard, and refuse to live beneath it. Prime your mind daily. Gratitude, goals, growth. Condition your brain to expect power. Speak it. Own it. Breathe it. Because when you take control of your psychology, you take control of your life. And when you control your life, you stop being a puppet and you start becoming the architect of your destiny. But you don't get that by hoping. You don't get that by watching one speech. You get that by going to war with your old self every single day. You decide that your mind is your responsibility. You decide that no one else gets to program you. You decide that every thought, every action, every habit from this moment forward serves the ultimate version of you. You want freedom? Earn it. You want power? Condition it. You want to be unstoppable? Then you better show up like your life depends on it, because it does. This is the moment. This is the line in the sand. No more being programmed by fear. No more living on autopilot. No more apologizing for your power. Either you master your mind or your mind masters you. How much longer are you going to lie to yourself? You say you want to change, but your actions scream comfort. You say you want the next level, but you're still negotiating with your old habits. You say you're hungry, but I don't see the fire. And let me tell you something. You don't get to be exceptional by being convenient. There is a cost to every choice you're making right now. Every time you hit snooze, you're delaying your destiny. Every time you say tomorrow, you bury another piece of your potential. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you're reinforcing a cage around your greatness. That's the truth. And most people, hell, most of the world will die in that cage because they never got honest about how much their excuses were costing them. Do you feel that? That tightness in your chest? That voice in your gut saying, you're meant for more. That's not anxiety. That's your soul begging you to wake up, to stop settling, to stop acting like time is infinite. It's not. You don't get unlimited chances. You don't get to delay forever. At some point, you either rise or you rot. So here's the truth. You will never change your life until you change your standards. Not your goals, not your vision, your standards, the level of pain you're willing to tolerate, the quality of thoughts you're willing to entertain, the level of discipline you're willing to demand from yourself. That is your real life, not the vision board, not the journal. Your standards in the moment you want to quit. That's what defines you. You want to feel unstoppable? You want to build real momentum? Then stop asking, how do I feel? And start asking, what needs to be done? Because the winners, the ones who build a life they're proud of, they do it without motivation. They show up broken, tired, discouraged, scared, but they still show up because they've trained their nervous system to obey their standards, not their mood. You want to snap out of the old pattern? Then get obsessed with creating a new one. Burn the bridge. Destroy the option of going back. Stop giving yourself an escape hatch. From this moment on, it's not I'll try. It's not we'll see. It's I'm all in. There is no plan B. You've got to condition yourself to execute when it's hard, when it's boring, when no one is watching, because that's what rewires your identity. That's where the real change happens. If you want real change, do this. Pick one habit right now that's been owning you, one, and declare right now that it ends today. No delay, no weaning off. You rip it out by the root, you destroy it, and then replace it with a new ritual. A small, undeniable victory every single day. You celebrate that win like you just won the Super Bowl. Because when you stack enough small wins, you start to believe again. You don't need more time. You don't need more books. You don't need more damn inspiration. What you need is a decision. A real decision. One that's backed by action so massive it makes your old self unrecognizable. You need to become the kind of person who follows through no matter what. Period. No more stories, no more delays, just relentless, disciplined, consistent action. Your old patterns, they're thieves. They're robbing you of joy, of purpose, of time, of legacy. And the only way to kill them is to starve them. You feed your future by starving your fear. You feed your power by starving your excuses. You feed your greatness by demanding more when you feel like doing less. This is the moment where you leave the old behind, where you break the cycle, where you rise into the identity of a finisher, a warrior, a relentless, disciplined force of nature. Because the life you want, it doesn't respond to wishes, it responds to work. Discipline is the bridge between the life you have and the life you were born for. How many more days are you going to walk around pretending you're fine, when deep down, you know you're not living even close to your potential? Let's cut the crap. You know there's more in you. You feel it every time you look in the mirror and wonder why the fire's gone. And it's not because you're not capable. It's because you've been lying to yourself. Lying about what you're tolerating, lying about what you're committed to, lying about what it's going to take. And here's the truth. Your life will never rise above the standards you set for yourself when no one's watching. Not when you're pumped, not when you're motivated, but when you're alone, tired, angry, afraid, and still decide, I'm showing up anyway. You say you want change? Prove it. Because what you tolerate, you feed. What you avoid, you empower, and what you excuse becomes your identity. So if you've been waiting for permission, this is it. If you've been waiting for the right time, this is it. If you've been hoping life will somehow turn around without you radically shifting your behavior, wake up. That's not how this works. You don't need more motivation. You need a complete pattern interrupts. You need to disrupt the mental loop that keeps whispering, I'll start tomorrow. You need to crush the belief that says comfort equals safety. No, comfort equals death. Not physical death, but the death of your dreams, the death of momentum, the death of greatness. You weren't put on this earth to survive. You were built to conquer. But you don't conquer anything living like a hostage to old habits. So here's what we do. Right now, we shift the entire game. From this moment forward, you train your nervous system to do what must be done, no matter what. Not when you feel like it, not when the stars align, not when people believe in you, but because you've decided to be the one who breaks the cycle. And that's the power most people never touch. The power of a decision backed by relentless follow-through. You want to shift everything, then raise your floor. That means even on your worst day, You operate at a standard that others couldn't touch on their best. That's what separates the unstoppable from the average. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's not a perfect plan. It's a brutal commitment to execute, whether it's fun or not, easy or not. And you get there with reps, daily reps of discipline, daily reps of keeping your word. You tell yourself, I don't negotiate with weakness. You feel the fear and step anyway. You feel the laziness and move anyway. You feel the doubt and choose courageous action anyway. That's how you rewire your identity, not through talk, through daily execution when everything in you wants to quit. Pick one thing right now, one promise you've been breaking to yourself. Maybe it's your health, maybe it's your business, maybe it's the relationship you know you're neglecting. Choose it and take massive action today. Not later, not when it's comfortable, now. Make the call, send the message, cancel the distraction, stack a win, feel that fire start to burn again. Because the more you act in alignment with your highest standard, the more your identity changes. Suddenly you're not hoping, you're becoming. Suddenly you're not reacting, you're leading. You're no longer at the mercy of life, you are the storm. And when life punches you in the mouth, you hit back harder. This is your moment. You've got two options. Stay in the story or rise into your power. Stay the same or reinvent everything. Hide behind comfort or step into greatness. You don't need another pep talk. You need a decision followed by fire. So burn the old self down. And don't stop until the world sees the giant that's been sleeping inside you. Excuses build your prison, discipline breaks the door off the hinges. Let me ask you something that might sting. How many years have you been dragging your dreams behind you like dead weight, telling yourself you'll get serious someday? You know what someday is? It's a damn graveyard. A graveyard filled with people who could have, should have, almost did, but never followed through. People who waited until they felt ready. People who never demanded greatness from themselves. People who lived and died by excuses. Is that going to be you? Because if you keep waiting for motivation, if you keep sitting around hoping something outside you will light the fire, you're done. You will never break through. You will never become what you were born to be. And deep down, you know it. That voice in your gut, that feeling when you lay in bed and wonder, is this it? It's your soul screaming to stop settling. Let's get something straight. Your results do not lie. Your bank account, your body, your business, your relationships, they are the scoreboard of your habits. They are the consequences of your standards. And if you don't like what you see, don't blame the world. Don't point to your past. Don't tell me about how hard it's been. Tell me what the hell you're going to do about it now. Because here's what no one wants to admit. You're always choosing. Every day you either move closer to the life you want or dig deeper into the life you hate. There is no neutral, there is no pause button. And if you're not choosing progress, you are choosing pain, the pain of regret, the pain of missed potential, the pain of watching someone else live the life you were meant to claim. And I'm not here to coddle you. I'm here to rip the blindfold off and show you what's really possible if you stop negotiating with your excuses, if you stop worshiping comfort like a god, if you stop waiting and start building. You want to turn your life into something unrecognizable? Then you need to stop chasing motivation and install habits that punch through resistance every single day. You get up early even when you're exhausted. You hit the gym even when your body says no. You pick up the phone, make the call, take the risk, even when fear has you by the throat. Because the man or woman who can act in the absence of motivation, they are unstoppable. That's the edge, that's the fire. That's the muscle you build by doing what's hard until it becomes who you are. And here's the strategy. Stop thinking in grand gestures. Start stacking wins. One choice at a time, one rep, 1 hour, one brutal act of discipline. Momentum is not lightning, it's a snowball. You push, and it's small at first. But then it rolls, then it flies, then it crashes through walls like a goddamn wrecking ball. And suddenly you're not hoping, you're dominating. But you've got to kill the old identity. Burn it to the ground. The version of you that breaks promises to yourself, that tiptoes through life afraid to take the hit, they don't get to live here anymore. This is war, a war against your limits, a war against comfort, a war for your future. And if you don't fight for it, no one will. No mentor, no book, No speech is going to save you if you don't show up and fight. So what's it going to be? Another year of potential pissed away? Or the moment you draw the line and say enough, the moment you decide that your goals aren't optional, they're non-negotiable, you don't dabble anymore, you commit, you sacrifice, you become the kind of person who does what others won't, so you can live how others never will. You don't need more time, you need more courage. You don't need more inspiration, you need more hunger. And you don't need permission, you need to remember who the hell you are. You were not born to play small. You were built to burn excuses to the ground.